doing?
Clear!
Today we talk about a movie set in the bloody city of Juarez, the first chapter of the Border trilogy Sicario. The movie opens by explaining the meaning of the title Sicario. It comes from Jewish extremists in Jerusalem, referring to killers who hunted and invaded Roman forces in their homeland. In Mexico, Sicario means a professional hitman. Chandler, Arizona. The FBI launches a raid on a kidnapping case. Agent Kate, her partner Reggie and a special task force rush to the scene. The FBI has its own unique way of breaking in. Get down. Do not move. The mission is to rescue hostages and the difficulty level is high, but Kate does not know the difficulty is about to drop fast. They break in and Kate almost gets shot by an ambush. Her partner Reggie spots something hidden inside the broken wall. 3 agents tear the wall open and a wave of rotten stench hits them. Tortured victims are stuffed inside. Even seasoned pros struggle to keep it together at a site like this. But the bodies in the wall are not the hostages Kate came to save. Police and forensic teams move in. As the wall is fully opened, dozens of corpses are revealed. It looks like the work of the Sonora drug cartel. In real life, the Sonora cartel is considered one of the oldest and most established groups. They started early by moving cocaine from Colombia for distribution. Their smuggling routes even reached into Arizona. But in 2007, Sonora merged into other cartels. After the founder was convicted in 2010, the group completely collapsed. By the time of the movie, it no longer exists at all. Kate firmly believes this house belongs to a man named Manuel Diaz, and that he must be the one behind turning people into human building materials. Kate sees Reggie overwhelmed by the smell of corpses and tells him to step outside. At the same time, local police search a tool shed and discover a locked entrance to an underground basement, but Diaz's gift to them is not just the bodies in the wall. The local police station finds something else. The news reports an explosion. The bodies are believed to belong to turf war rivals or illegal immigrants being extorted. Kate and Reggie are called back to the office to wait. The operation followed proper procedures, but after something this big, they still worry about being held responsible. Inside the office, their boss introduces the two outside to several unfamiliar faces. Kate has led the anti-kidnapping rapid response team for 3 years. Ever since arriving, she has been fighting on the front lines. Today is her 5th operation. The key listeners in the room dig deep into Kate's background. They learn she has never handled cases, just a pure frontline fighter. Her partner Reggie is skilled both in action and theory with a law degree. He is also excellent but has less real combat experience. Lawyers aside, this guy really likes soldiers like Kate. He decides to recruit her into a new operation. Kate is called into the office. She knows a lot about Diaz, who caused today's tragedy, but these strangers tell her Diaz worked for the Sonora cartel and was one of their top figures in the U.S. A casually dressed man suddenly asks her if she knows Diaz's brother Guillermo and his cousin. Kate knows nothing about any of this. Her boss steps in to explain for her. She works anti-kidnapping and does not deal with drugs. The man then asks about Kate's marriage and family. She is divorced with no children. This is to confirm she has no emotional baggage holding her back. Kate is asked to leave the office, still confused, but she can tell the guy with that fierce, almost villain-like look is not simple. She is called back in again. Her boss tells her the Justice Department needs someone familiar with Diaz to hit the cartels. The fierce-looking man is the team leader Matt. Right now, they need an agent like Kate with real field experience. In 2 days, they are heading to El Paso to meet Diaz's brother. Kate immediately asks about the goal, sounding very urgent. Her boss reminds her this mission is not mandatory, so she should think it through before deciding whether to join. Kate asks back if this mission can eventually catch the real culprit behind today. After getting a clear yes, she agrees to join without hesitation. Nogales, Mexico. A police officer is woken up by his son. After breakfast, he goes with his son to a soccer game. 2 days later, Reggie drives Kate to the Air Force Base. He warns Kate not to trust the guy in flip-flops. Kate then meets up with Matt and boards a private plane. There is one more person traveling with them. After talking with him, Kate learns they are heading to Juarez, Mexico, the heart of cartel territory. During the flight, the sleeping man's hand keeps shaking. He suddenly jolts awake, giving Kate a scare. It looks like he just had a nightmare. Kate uses the chance to ask him about the mission, but only learns that he is here to deal with drug cartels. After arriving in Mexico, CIA officer Steve meets them and takes the group to a briefing. The team is heavily armed, including CIA, U.S. Marshals and Delta Force. Many of them have just returned from Afghanistan. Kate looks completely confused. From the briefing only knows it is an escort mission. There is a high chance of an ambush. Kate talks again with the mysterious man. She learns he once worked in Juarez as a prosecutor in the local government. This time he was sent by Colombia. Getting no clear answers, she turns to Matt, who recruited her, but Matt tells her to follow the other man, Alejandro's commands. Seeing how obsessed Kate is with knowing the truth, he reminds her that every raid she led in the past 6 months ended with explosions. All domestic operations achieved nothing. If she wants to know who is behind all this, coming here is the right choice. Everything else is not for her to think about. Although Matt claims to be from the Department of Defense, his style is very CIA. Kate can clearly see that, soon, the task force moves out, the endless Mexican desert blends into the sky, the helicopter is like a steel fly disturbing the beast called Juarez. Steve talks about how in the 1990s, when President Taft visited here, he brought 4,000 guards and still nearly got shot in the head by an assassin. Juarez is a beast covered in fangs, claws and venomous spikes. The convoy enters Juarez, the camera keeps pulling back, revealing the full shape of the beast, making the team fighting it look like tiny ants, weak and insignificant. Local law enforcement fully armed joins the convoy for escort. Very soon, Kate sees the real face of Juarez. Several headless stripped bodies hang beneath a bridge like a welcome ceremony prepared for outsiders. This is actually a way to disguise the crime. The victims are treated that way, so outsiders will think they were insiders punished for mistakes. The convoy stops after hearing gunfire not far away. They need to change routes and avoid the clash. This is far too common in Juarez. The missing person posters covering the walls show women going missing. Here is nothing unusual. The convoy speeds up again like a sharp blade stabbing straight into Juarez's heart. The rough road only deepens the unease inside Kate. Everything feels dangerous and unfamiliar to her. When they arrive to pick up the target, Alejandro reassures Kate that nothing will happen here. If anything goes down, it will be at the border. He warns her to watch the local police since not all of them are clean. Soon, the target is hooded and pushed into the vehicle. The convoy sets off again, heading back to base. A beast with its mouth open is scary, but the moment it really draws blood is when it shuts its mouth. Every member of the team is on edge watching for threats. They are tense over every movement. They need to cross the border fast and meet agents on the other side, but just after crossing, they run into a massive traffic jam. A broken-down car blocks the road completely. The team is trapped with no way forward or back. Just like what was said in the briefing, anyone except the team could be an enemy. Alejandro tells Kate to take out her gun. Team members keep calling out the positions of suspicious vehicles. Alejandro loads his weapon, raises it and tells Kate to roll down the window. Then he aims straight at a suspicious car. Moments later, they see the people inside are armed. Command orders the team to act based on the situation. They wait for the others to step out before making a move. The sound of dogs barking fills the air like a countdown before an explosion. The moment the other car door opens, the whole team exits with guns raised. Only Kate is left inside the car, frozen in fear. She is like a baby dropped into a new world, lost and helpless. The team quickly surrounds the suspicious car and takes control. Time moves faster at the border than anywhere else. Success or failure, life or death really happen in an instant here. Stay calm. Drop the weapon. Do you want to die? What are we doing? Road safety check. Do not look at me. Kate remembers Alejandro's warning. She stays clear-headed, reacts on instinct and avoids a setup by local police. The road is cleared and everyone gets back into the vehicles. They pull out while staying on alert. The convoy returns to base and the mission is a success. Kate yells at Matt, saying what just happened was straight-up criminal. She does not even know who they brought back, yet had to watch them casually unload bullets into suspects. This is no different from a massacre, especially with civilians all around. I am not a soldier. I did not sign up for this. Oh come on, do not sell yourself short. Matt admits he did not pick Reggie because he knew the kid could not handle this, but sooner or later, he would have to adapt to this border style. This is how Juarez has always been, and their goal is to stir up chaos. He tells Kate to forget what she saw and learn properly here. Even though she has been fighting on the front lines, Kate is still law enforcement. What just happened completely shatters her judgment of the mission. Matt goes to meet the man they escorted back, Diaz's brother, Guillermo. Seeing Steve hand him a bottle of water, Matt says that is very devil-like. When spoken to, he says he does not speak English. Matt says he likes people who do not speak English, otherwise how would they bring in a translator? Matt plans to let Guillermo meet an old friend. Alejandro meets an old friend who once worked in Juarez. Guillermo being kept alive was his doing. He apologizes for what the team faced on the way back. Then mentions a nearby tunnel that can move drugs into Arizona. If Alejandro and his people want to make a move, they need to find it fast. The situation shifts quickly and time is running out. The old friend wants to see Guillermo but Alejandro stops him. Some things are easier to explain if you never see them. I am glad you are still here fighting. I am sorry for what you went through. Take care. Alejandro carries a bucket of drinking water, whistling a pleasant tune. He walks toward the interrogation room. Guillermo sees this living demon and freezes in confusion. Alejandro sets the water down and kicks the prisoner's legs apart, pressing in close, standing right in front of him like feeding a bird. Steve clearly knows what is about to happen. He stands up, leaves the room and casually turns off the camera. Now you will learn how terrifying the northern men's territory really is. No, why are you looking at me? You do not speak English right. Kate tries to steady herself until night falls but it does not help much. She can only ask around for a cigarette to calm her nerves. A guy invites Kate up to the rooftop to watch fireworks. The entire city of Juarez is lit up with firepower. Gunfights and explosions never stop. Like a headless chicken, it thrashes and runs in chaos. Back in Phoenix, Reggie comes to pick her up. Their next stop is Tucson, Arizona. By now Kate has no energy left to answer Reggie's questions. They come to Tucson for several Mexican migrant buses that were intercepted. Matt has another trick planned. Reggie anxiously wants to know what Kate went through in El Paso and learns they actually went into Mexico. Alejandro asks to keep the migrants caught in Nogales. Nogales is also a border city between the US and Mexico. He wants to find the drug tunnel mentioned by his old friend. There is a good chance clues can be pulled from the migrants. Kate asks what they are doing but Matt still refuses to explain. Alejandro questions the migrants kindly, especially those who have been to the US. Several of them have been to Arizona. With no answers, Kate is again pressed by Reggie for the truth. The kid is far more stubborn than she is. He pulls Matt and Alejandro aside, demanding to know the full picture, threatening to pull Kate out of the operation with him as a lawyer. So this is what checks and balances mean, huh? Matt sighs and decides to come clean, which shows he truly needs the two of them. They force the truth out of Guillermo that there is a drug tunnel east of Nogales. How they forced it out is something Kate is not told. Migrants would normally avoid areas where drug tunnels operate. So by working backward, they must know the exact location. Reggie keeps pushing, asking what the real end goal is. Matt says they want to create chaos, plain and simple. They want to choke the cartel's business and shake it hard. Once chaos spreads that Diaz, the man behind the hostage murders, the bombings, and the US side of the cartel will be called back to Mexico by his boss. And then they can follow the trail to his boss Fausto Alarcón. Alejandro explains people crossing the border are kidnapped and slaughtered every day all because of Alarcón. Finding him is like discovering a new vaccine. It proves the value of catching him and could save countless lives. Alright, that is all. Just do not keep us in the dark. Good. What are you scared of the dark, after all this trouble? The good news is work is over. The bad news is it starts again tomorrow. Kate lies on the bed, her thoughts drifting. She gets up searching real photos of the southern world, feeling anxious. Nogales, a police officer's wife and son eat breakfast. The son asks where his father is after not coming home all night. The mother says he is at work. That job fills her with worry. Reggie warns Kate to be careful with Matt. He met people like him in Iraq, pure CIA types. They are not partners who will cover for you. Kate believes at least they know what is really going on. Either way, they are forced to trust them. What is the password? Idiot. Several Mexican migrants who have been to the US are taken to a motel to help locate the tunnel. Alejandro points to a spot and the migrants react in shock. Only drug runners are allowed to go there. Even Border Patrol stays away. You must never go there. For years, it has been the best crossing route, with easy access to the highway plus water and cover. The migrants help Alejandro mark the location, saying the entrance is hidden behind an old car. This indirectly confirms Guillermo's information was true. Matt asks Kate to request SWAT support from Phoenix. They plan to start hitting Diaz where it hurts his money. Under Matt's command, they catch the person going to the bank to deposit money for Diaz. He tells the agents to be ready to perform the Heimlich maneuver during arrest in case she tries to swallow the receipt. The moment she steps out of the bank, the team moves in. Inside her bag, they find stacks of cash bound with colorful rubber bands. At this point, Matt's goal is achieved. No need for case files or trial evidence. Freezing all of Diaz's accounts is enough, but Kate disagrees. She wants to do things by the book. Ignoring Matt's protests, she walks into the bank. Inside the bank, Diaz has clearly been tipped off, but when law enforcement shows up, the records still have to be handed over. Based on Diaz's account history, they trace $17 million. But the money has been cleaned through legal loopholes and now looks legitimate. Matt says this cannot be used to prosecute. Someone walks into a bank to deposit money. What right do you have to arrest them? Wasting time like this means more people will die while we talk, and arresting Diaz is not the goal. Sending him back to Mexico is the real objective. Kate argues they have no authority to operate in Mexico. Technically, it is not really law enforcement. No matter how hard she argues, Matt refuses to arrest him. Diaz quickly gets wind of what happened. Kate tries to convince her superior. The answer is the same. The money is suspicious but not illegal. Deep down, Kate just wants to follow proper procedure, especially after what she witnessed at the border. Her boss mentions that last year, drug-related cases exceeded the previous 2 years combined. But do they really feel like they are winning? This proves opening cases does not work. Bringing Matt in to run things means special measures for special times. Entrapment creating trouble and forcing chaos inside the cartel. When trust collapses and money starts moving, that is when they get a chance to break it apart. Her boss speaks plainly. This is far beyond his control. Everything is decided by higher-ups. If Kate is worried they have crossed a line, he can tell her clearly no. The line has been moved or maybe it no longer exists, which means the rule now is there are no rules. In the shadows, Alejandro keeps watching Kate and Reggie. At a bar, they run into Reggie's friend, Ted from the local police department. There is some chemistry between Kate and Ted, and Reggie plays matchmaker. The two quickly move to a table together, then naturally head to the dance floor. After that, they go back to his place. Ted tosses his keys and wallet onto the coffee table. Just as things are about to continue, Kate notices a colorful rubber band next to the keys, the exact same kind used to bundle Diaz's cash. Her mind jolts and she hits pause. Ted immediately realizes the rubber band gave him away. he calls out to Kate and suggests they calm down and talk. Relax, Kate, what is going on? Stop, what is wrong with you? Are you trying to kill me? Let go of me. Damn it, Kate, stop right now. Blame yourself, you brought this on yourself. Kate believes Matt used her as bait. Matt fires back, saying she chose to be the bait herself. He warned her not to go into the bank, but she did not listen and got herself burned. Luckily, that man would not become a Punisher for another 2 years, so she is still alive to talk. At the same time, drawing him out was not a bad thing. They can just pretend it was all part of the plan. Matt suggests she write it that way in the report. Anyway, this is good news. Mexico will soon recall Diaz. Reggie feels deeply guilty since the man was his friend. Kate does not blame him, saying in the end, it was her own need. Ted is beaten bloody but still shows some defiance. He admits someone approached him, asking for help to get information out of Kate, but he never intended to hurt anyone. If he had known the truth, he would never have gotten involved. He clearly overestimated Alejandro's patience. That is not what we want, Ted. Matt smiles as he threatens to redraw his buddy's face again. Then he offers a new deal. He can help Ted's daughter get federal protection, or he can choose to leak the address of his ex-wife and daughter online. Or he can decide to send Ted to a labor camp or a slaughterhouse. Ted breaks down and admits the truth is beyond his control. He keeps muttering that he messed everything up. Sorry, take it out. A few hits to the ears and now you can hear us right. Alejandro asks how many cops are involved. Ted demands they guarantee his daughter's safety. You have to promise me. Do you want to hear the truth? Go ahead, give me all the names, every bastard who took part. Alright, which phone do we start with? The broken one. With the business done, Alejandro checks on Kate. He returns her sidearm. Kate regrets being so careless. Thinking she could sleep with a professional killer, Alejandro says Ted is not an assassin, just a scout. Alejandro stares at Kate and suddenly says she reminds him of someone very important to him. Maybe that person is the reason Alejandro became so cold and determined. He tells Kate to get some rest or think of it as preparing for what comes next. Diaz is going back to Mexico tomorrow. When that happens, they will break one of his legs. The team starts searching for the tunnel location. Soon they find the marker described by migrants, an abandoned car. A son wakes his police officer father. He wants him to play soccer together again. Their conversation shows the cop always works nights. Even the most dedicated man cannot work night shifts every day. Diaz is already under close watch and the tunnel location is confirmed. Now all they need to do is wait. Alejandro sees Kate and even greets her politely, his deadly aura toward enemies completely hidden. While planning, Matt tells the special forces the cartel is using Mexican police to move drugs, so anyone in police uniform at the tunnel entrance is treated as an enemy. The rule of the operation is to make noise and cause as much chaos as possible. Diaz leaves his house. The operation can begin. All members are special forces, so Reggie wants to know if he and Kate are joining in. Matt refuses, saying, they did not bring any gear. You did not tell us. Yesterday both of you went crying and filing reports. We do not want him knowing everything. Let me catch my breath. Kate and Reggie actually have gear in their car, but Matt still orders them to stay in the rear during the operation. If they are not going to the front line, why bring them at all? Matt finally reveals the real reason they were recruited. The CIA cannot operate inside the United States unless other domestic law enforcement agencies are present. I told you before, you are very useful, so that is why we are here. Yes, that is why you are here. If drugs are found, you are allowed to seize them. Today is a good day. It feels so fake. Turns out the two of them are just tickets for the CIA to travel inside the country. Even though she was used, Kate still insists on joining the operation. She needs to find out exactly how they are using her. Reggie talks until his mouth is dry but cannot stop her. At the drug warehouse, the Nogales cop waits for the shipment. The drugs will be smuggled into the US in his police car. That is basically his night shift job. While tracking Diaz, the operation will also move under the cover of night. In the eyes of the special forces, the two FBI agents are complete rookies. They give them a full briefing on combat details. Gear is fully checked and thermal imaging is confirmed working. Tasks are assigned and the operation officially begins. The team slowly approaches the abandoned car in the desert. Guided by satellite, they search for the tunnel and enemies. Soon they find the entrance, more accurately, the tunnel exit on the US side. The team successfully enters the tunnel. Kate and Reggie follow at the very back. Inside, gunfire and screams rise one after another. Kate walks into an ambush and her gun is hit by a bullet. Luckily, with Reggie covering her, she is not injured, but the rifle really took a bullet and is completely broken. She has no choice but to draw her handgun and keep moving. She notices Alejandro taking a different tunnel alone and follows him on purpose. On the other end of the tunnel, the dirty cop and the cartel men hear the gunfire getting closer and start to panic. They scramble to unload the drugs. The cartel guy only wants to run and forces the cop to hand over the car keys. Give me the keys. Calm down. Hands up. Turn around. Do not move. Put the gun down. Stop pointing the gun at me. Why Alejandro suddenly changes like this? Kate has no idea. Including the truth which now feels even more unclear. Alejandro takes the dirty cop hostage and leaves the warehouse. He moves to intercept the target Diaz. The cop begs for mercy. saying he has a son. Alejandro replies that what he is doing now is to protect his family. The first phase of the operation is a huge success, but babysitting 2 FBI agents still leaves some people unhappy. When it is over, only Reggie returns. Kate is missing. Reggie demands they go back to search for her. Just as they move, Kate appears. Matt pins Kate down hard, forcing her to calm down, but he also understands why she is so shaken. She took the wrong tunnel and saw something she was never meant to see. Kate asks about the word Medellin the dirty cop mentioned. Anyone who knows a bit about South American drugs knows Medellin. It was once the home base of the most arrogant drug lord Pablo, but now the word carries a deeper meaning. Medellin refers to a period when one organization controlled every part of the drug trade and built an order the United States could manage before addicts are reduced to zero, which of course will never happen. An orderly drug trade is what the US really wants. Put simply, America cannot completely eliminate drugs. So it settles for stability instead. It joins the game and maintains the underground rules. What Alejandro is doing is trying to restore that order. Kate realizes Alejandro comes from a Colombian drug cartel, just another story from a country known for magical realism. This absurd reality almost makes her laugh. Matt pushes back, saying Alejandro can work for anyone, against anyone who helped turn him into what he is today and serve any group willing to let him do his job, so he can hunt down the man who cut off his wife's head and dumped his daughter into a barrel of sulfuric acid. This is what they are dealing with. It turns out when Alejandro was a prosecutor in Juarez, the cartel boss Alarcón ordered the murder of his wife and daughter. He has been waiting for a chance to get revenge. The Colombian cartels want business to run smoothly. The United States wants an order it can control. The three sides use each other. Kate cannot allow what comes next or help cover it up. If she cannot stop it, she will expose everything. That would be a huge mistake. Alejandro finally catches up to Diaz. He orders the cop to turn on the siren and pull over the car ahead. Diaz calmly pulls over and takes out his handgun. Following Alejandro's order, the cop tells Diaz to step out. Once he is out, he must lift his jacket and turn around. Diaz asks the cop if he knows who he is. The cop keeps acting as Alejandro's puppet, warning Diaz that he will kill him if he does not comply, ordering him to drop the gun. Alejandro tells the cop to step aside and face Diaz. What do you want? Do you know who I am? I am a boss. Get down. I know who you are. You are Manuel Diaz. After confirming Diaz has no weapons, Alejandro orders him to take him to his boss Fausto Alarcón and threatens that if he runs, his daughter will be raped by 20 men. Alejandro switches to a new vehicle and continues the mission. The dirty cop will never play soccer with his son again. Alejandro slips into the outer area of Alarcón's home. The guards confirm there is only one person in the car. Diaz asks about his fate, which is a question he already knows the answer to. Soon they arrive at the entrance of the estate. The guards open the gate, but Diaz hesitates to go in. Alejandro slips in just like that. Satellite support ends here. Command signals will also be cut off, most likely on purpose. There are 6 people still alive inside and from now on he is on his own. Enjoy your meal. Stay calm or we are all going to die. Alejandro confirms the children do not speak English, so he decides to speak English with Alarcón. He opens with a wave of moral questioning. How many families were destroyed by Alarcón while he sits here enjoying dinner? Alarcón tells the children to keep eating. There is no fear on his face, only calm control. He even asks Alejandro how the people who sent him here are any different from himself. Otherwise, where did he learn these methods? Would his dead wife be proud of what he has become? Do not forget my daughter, your little daughter. This is not personal. To me it is. Do not do this in front of my sons. It is time to meet God. From the very beginning, Alejandro never planned to leave anyone alive. Letting his enemies feel his pain is the real revenge. The day after the operation, Kate stands alone on the balcony smoking. Footsteps suddenly appear behind her. A voice warns Kate it is better not to stand so close to the edge. After threatening to expose everything, she senses danger. The one who comes is Alejandro. He holds a gun and asks Kate to sit and talk. A person who does not fear a real demon only has one reason, when that demon is a teammate. When you are scared, you look like a little girl. You remind me of the daughter I lost. I want you to sign this document. It says everything we did followed proper procedure. I cannot sign it. Sign it. It is okay. I cannot sign it. You will commit suicide, Kate. You should move to a small town, a place where law and order still exist. You cannot survive here. You are not a wolf, and this place already belongs to wolves. A Mexican boy stands in front of his father's empty bed then quietly leaves. This time, his mother takes him to a soccer match. The game is intense when sudden gunshots sound like a pause whistle. Parents and children freeze in place. The rules are long broken and the law no longer means anything, but the match goes on and life has to continue. That is Sicario. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.